Whew. Hello, my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we on this fine Saturday? I am dressed. I'm going to go out for lunch with my girlfriends. I cannot wait. But before that, I said, you know what? I got to come out here and give you updates upon updates upon updates. Hold on. Fumi, that was very crass. You know you could have used a glass. I'm in a rush. I'm in a rush. Darlings, please do not forget to like and to subscribe to this fabulous channel because I come to you on a daily basis. Why are we here? I'll tell you why we're here, because it's turning out to be very much keeping up with what? Keeping up with the Beckhams. One of Fumi Nation sent me this and I was absolutely speechless because I really was going to do another story. But I said, things are kind of sort of making sense. So let us listen to this together and from there we shall proceed.
Moment, Brooklyn cannot trade in his own name. So you know he's got a hot pepper sauce. I think it's called Cloud 23. He's had to call it Cloud 23. You'd think he would have called it Brooklyn's hot pepper sauce, but he can't do that. He can't do that because his mother owns his trademark. So anything that he wants to do, if he wants to bring out a clothing design line, if he wants to go into children's books, whatever it is, she's essentially wrapped it all up.
Is that the controlling bit? Is that what he means? Or does she mean emotionally controlling?
Perhaps it is.
It's certainly a very natural form of control.
Yes.
I own your name.
Yes.
But these are people as well as brands.
No, but let's just get to the nub of this. So you think that the timing is very significant because this is January. In December, her ownership of his trademark runs out.
Exactly.
So what do you think is poised to happen then?
We have the potential for a very big court case.
Wow.
So you weren't wrong when you said, is this Beckham versus Beckham? Because I wonder if that is the road we're going down. Look, these are PR machines that we can't even begin to imagine how they work. We're seeing in the press that the Beckhams are reportedly paying £100,000 a month for their PR team. There are war rooms set up, we're being told, by the different PR agents. So whilst we see on the face of it a family feud, forgive my cynicism, I wonder if we're talking more about...
But how crazy
Hang on, because what Paul is saying is so fascinating, and I haven't heard anyone else saying it, and she's a lawyer. She's literally come from court to here.
Yes.
If you talk about the horses now, she's a beautiful horse, but let's listen to what you've got to say on this. So, Paula, listen, explain to me, in December, when it runs out, Victoria's ownership of Brooklyn's name, the trademark, what could happen in court? What potentially could happen?
So we would hope we would have a position where the registration runs out and Victoria says to Brooklyn, here is your name.
Yeah, you're 26.
You're
here's your
26, here is your name.
Yeah.
That's one scenario. We could have a scenario where Victoria turns around and says, I'm re-registering. If she says that, Brooklyn then has to decide what he wants to do. And from that statement that we saw, that 6-page Instagram explosive post, I suspect we're going to have Brooklyn blocking that re-registration. And that's when we start down a pathway potentially of no return in terms of a court case.
Do you remember last week I read the 6-page bomb blaster that Brooklyn landed onto his Instagram stories, and that was where this firecracker went off. There were moments in the story that I was rendered speechless because I did not understand. Recently I have seen with my own eyes the lengths that they'll go through to place countless lies in the media, mostly at the expense of innocent people to preserve their own facade. But I believe the truth always comes out. Why is this giving me Prince Harry vibes? My parents have been trying endlessly to ruin my relationship since before my wedding, and it hasn't stopped. My mom cancelled making Nicola's dress in the 11th hour despite how excited she was to wear her design, forcing her to urgently find a new dress. Weeks before our big day, my parents reportedly pressured and attempted to bribe me into signing away the rights to my name. Which would have affected me, my wife, and our future children. They were adamant on my signing before my wedding date because then the terms of the deal would be initiated. My holdout affected the payday, and they have never treated me the same since. There were moments in the story that I was rendered speechless because I did not understand. Now I absolutely do. Brooklyn said, let me just start from this. My parents have been trying endlessly to ruin my relationship since before my wedding, and it hasn't stopped. My mom cancelled making Nicola's dress in the 11th hour, despite how excited she was to wear her design, forcing her to urgently find a new dress weeks before our big day, forcing her urgently to find a big dress. That saga is now being debunked in the sense that she had had a Valentino dress that was in the works for an absolute year. So if Victoria had said that she wasn't making the dress for whatever reason, there's no way, and the courtesans at Valentino have said, it doesn't matter who you are, there's no way we could make a dress for you custom in a matter of months. That dress was already in the works. There was somebody in the comment section who said, Fumi, no. Victoria made the dress. Nicola refused to wear it. I said, what was that? We move on. It goes on to say, weeks before our big day, my parents repeatedly pressured and attempted to bribe me into signing away the rights to my name, which would have affected me, my wife, and our future children. I was stuck because it was the first time I was hearing something like that. And it sounded so atrocious that I just could not wrap my head around it. That's what this lawyer is referring to right here. It goes on to say, they were adamant on me signing before my wedding date because then the terms of the deal would be initiated. My holdout affected the payday, and they have never treated me the same since. So I say this, in the event, Victoria, that this is true, that you have trademarked, which I'm not surprised, a lot of celebs do it because again, this is a brand of which you and David have built from his sports career, from your music career, from your music dance career with the Spice Girls. Whether you danced or sang is not the point. You had a career with the Spice Girls, and there was one point when the Spice Girls were really the most famous, girl group in the world at some point. So you built the brand. The brand was 2, it becomes 4, it becomes 6, hence you have 4 children. That's not going to go down well. That's not, well, as you can see, it's not going down well. You cannot hold him and control him like that. And it now explains why Brooklyn has a deep, deep resentment for you. Because you have held him on lockdown his entire life, way before Nicola came. A 26-year-old young guy that has everything in this world. I was thinking about this last night. They don't necessarily want to get married. They want to play the field, they want to travel, they want to have as many girlfriends as they can. They want to really rock and roll. I'm beginning to feel as if that Brooklyn was trying to get married to Nicola because he was trying to break free from his family. That's what this is giving me. David came out with a statement talking about children make mistakes because Brooklyn is his child, and no matter how much of an adult Brooklyn is, that will always be his child. But I tell you this, you're right, David. You have to let Brooklyn make his mistakes, and you cannot gatekeep him. He's running away from you. He's running away from the control. And I can understand when you have somebody stifling you right down your throat 24/7 to the point that you can't even use your name on a bottle of hot sauce. It has to go through you every which way. I would be resentful. I would absolutely be resentful. Now I'm going to flip it because you see, I don't have a dog in this fight. I am very neutral. Brooklyn, you are very immature for your age. For a 26-year-old, you are very immature. That is one. Secondly, this is my feeling, and I hope I am wrong. I think you and Nicola are not going to make it. I think you're going to end up divorced sooner than later. Maybe once she's had the baby or 2, you're not going to make it. You're going to quietly separate and from there divorce. You are too young, and she's 30 and she's ready to have her children. And she's been wanting to have her children since she was 29, 27, 26, 28. She's been ready to have her children. Here's the thing. The Beckham fame and the Peltz money is equal. Even though the Peltz have more money, they don't have the fame that the Beckhams have. A lot of you kept on making mistakes in the comment section talking about Nicola had dated one of the Beckham brothers. No, she dated Anwar Hadid. The Hadid sisters, they are models. Gigi Hadid. Gigi Hadid's brother. Now, they all roll in the same circles. They are rich, they are famous, they are fabulous. And Nicola has had a couple of, stints with film, with music videos and the like. So she would absolutely bump into, this crew because they all roll together. Having said that, Victoria and I share the same instinct where she can see Nicola's agenda. And Nicola might not have an agenda. Nicola's agenda is that she wants to get married and she wants to be famous. And Brooklyn was there. And Brooklyn is not in love. He thinks it's love, but he's infatuated. He's so obsessed with her, he can't see past her. And because we are women, we know the power of instinct. We know the power of influence. We know the power as a woman. We know our power all the way from Adam and Eve. And it takes one to know one. Game recognizes game. And that may be why Brooklyn, she is holding fast on this, because Nicola will have it all. She will have the money, she will have the fame, and she will capitalize on that name. She will divorce you, and she will keep that Beckham name for her children and ride out into the sunset. There's an old saying, there are 3 men one meets in a woman's life. The first is unconditional love. The second relationship that she has is for money, position, prestige, and power. The third relationship she has in her life is companionship. If you are lucky, you might roll out with the first, and that will continue for the rest of your life. If not, you got to practice till you get it perfect. I'm just throwing it out there. While we're on the subject, Victoria, my darling, I was wearing your dress yesterday. It was the day before yesterday. Fabulous t-shirt, bodycon, zip up and down dress. Fumi Nation, I have to give you a public applause right here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you very much. You let me know that Meghan Markle wore the same dress after they had made the big announcement that they were going to leave, and Harry was holding the umbrella in the rain. I had no idea that it was the same dress because it pictured differently. But I didn't even think about it because the dress is so pale. It came in a couple of different colors. And I always choose blue for Adrian and Ula. A lot of my clothes since I got married are blue. I wear a lot of pinks and whites and other colors. But I chose that blue, really truly, for Ula and Adrian. Needless to say, somebody in the comment section again let me know that Fumi, Meghan, wore a lot of Victoria Beckham in support of Victoria Beckham and the brand. But Victoria Beckham and David were aligned with the royal palace, so they shunned her. I said, what was that? They said, yep, that there was no love there, no support, no standing up for. And that was because Sir David Beckham was lobbying, pleading and begging for his knighthood. And he did not want anything to jeopardize that. And he ultimately got knighted by Prince Charles. So you can see that this ghetto blaster of what Brooklyn landed on Monday, Tuesday, it was to set off a whole bunch of volcanoes. You want to play that game, Mummy Dearest? Here I come. Victoria, my love, I think that if this goes on, and you do come out with a sit-down interview with Oprah Winfrey, it's going to turn out like Romeo and Juliet. All will be punished. Nobody is going to escape from this. I understand Brooklyn ever so much. I think that he's wanted to find his way, and he has not been allowed to do so. If it is true that his name is trademarked and he has to seek permission from you, then where is the permission for him to grow? Where is the permission from him to evolve? It means that you want to curate, sign off every piece, every detail, and that's not life. That's not. He's in a gilded cage. He's in a gilded prison, and that is not fair. On the flip side, like I said, I can see why they are doing it, because this marriage right here, as far as I am concerned personally, it's not going to go too far. But Victoria, David, this also is the wrong way to do it. You cannot say to somebody who is hopelessly, helplessly in love, and then the person that they are in love with, for you to say that they are not blood, that they are not family. This thing that a lot of families do is extremely damaging. Then why go to the wedding? Then why pretend? Then why come there, the hypocrite that you are, and wish them well? She's not family, then show that she's not family. But once she's married to your son, she's a Beckham. And the old guard gradually dies off. Hence, that's how your legacy continues to live on. And if she has children, you're absolutely right. She's Beckham through and through. She's a Beckham. And Victoria, I'm surprised that you would say that, because you married into the Beckham family too. So what are you talking about? Again, in the event that it is true. So I just said to myself, let me come out here and give you update, because it really is going to be keeping up with the Beckhams. I'm here. I will report it because I can see that you are terribly interested and invested in it. Do not forget to like, to subscribe, hit the notification button. Mwah. All of my love. Mwah, 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 mwah.
Guys, my name is ENITAN, hair coach. I am UK's first ever hair coach and a trichologist. We are a team of trichologists and hair coaches here in W6 London, and we help those who are desperate and have tried and everything else has failed. We look after those who have chronic scalp concerns, flaky, itchy scalp that's been going on for many years. We help those that have hair loss that has progressed instead of improved, and we help those that just generally want to have a better understanding of better quality hair, length, volume, and reduce that dryness. Visit us by clicking